what was something broken? Was there a record? I mean, what do y'all know?
Highest percentage completion in a game.
Highest percentage
history.
NCAA
96%.
96%.
Minimum of 20 attempts.
Minimum of 20 attempts. That's pretty good.
Broke Coach Bobo's record too, Mark, of 19 straight, I believe it was, in the bowl
Good.
game.
Did they win today?
I hadn't heard.
They're about to play? I think they got Colorado State and Colorado. I hope they win. But I'm glad we got Bobo's record. That's awesome.
Coach, the tight ends were obviously a huge part of tonight. And I know that's a meeting room that has the young and the old. Can you
Right.
just talk about how they played?
Right. Well, I think we hit at least 8 different receivers, wide receivers, tight ends, backs. I know we hit fullbacks, tailbacks, tight ends, receivers. We hit everybody. Again, it's just a great job of looking at our talent base, taking advantage of their skill sets, putting it into a system that gives you a chance to use everybody. And it was just one of those days. Just one of those days.
Mark,
tight ends did a good job.
Sorry, as far as going up against South Carolina's offense, was it a little tough to game plan, not knowing quite what they were going to do?
Yeah, we thought, we didn't think they were just going to reinvent the wheel. But we did think that that particular game, last week's game, you know, Orth really came in and played well, gave him a spark. He had a better day statistically than Mitch did, you know. And, you know, it's just like, you know, they're trying to decide who should be the starting quarterback going into the season, kind of like us, and, you know, very tight race. So sometimes if your second teamer gets in there, it's a huge difference, and sometimes it's not. And maybe that number 2 comes in and does better than your number 1. So we thought we were still going to be playing a guy that could run the system well, and we knew Nunez would get in there. We really felt like he would. We knew it. We saw his athleticism. We thought 22 would get back there a little bit, and 11 as well at the quarterback position. So we kind of had a feel of what they all did when they got in there, and so that helped us.
Mark, do you think that, I know you talked earlier in the week about Coach Spurrier and having the juice to keep going on, but do you think maybe this might be his last visit to the sidelines at Sanford Stadium?
I have no idea. I wouldn't. I think Coach is a great coach, number 1, one of the greatest around. Always, you know, I've been in games competing against him for a long time, in all those years at Florida State, here at Georgia. I mean, as a young coach, I learned a lot from him just watching tape of what they do, and just, you know, you steal stuff. You just, man, it's good stuff. Let's start using that. Let's do it this way, do it that way. And so I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be up to him.
You think this team is mature enough now to focus on the game next week and not jump ahead 1 week?
They better, because our goal really has been to try to improve every week, and we're going to try to keep that mindset. We try not to think too much about circumstances. We try to think more about assignments, technique, and effort.
Not making too much of last week, but did you talk to Grayson at all to kind of give him encouragement about,
You know what? I left him alone. You know, I didn't want to go one way or the other. I mean, I always try to encourage those guys, period. But I didn't have sit down, special powwow or anything like that. The thing that I learned as a quarterback's coach is the relationship between the quarterback's coach and the quarterback, and even the interaction that they might have. It doesn't need another voice in there very much. You know what I mean? So, I mean, even when Coach Bowman and I were working together so much, we made sure our lingo was the same. We'd say certain things the same way. We were so much in sync that if I said something, I knew I was saying exactly what Mike might say. And a lot of times, just the relationship itself. You know, he may be trying to motivate him in a certain way, and then if I start trying to motivate him in a different way, I can confuse the guy. So I've learned sometimes it's best to let him handle it. Trust your coach to do his job, and you know, Shabby obviously did a great job this past week.
Coach, in the late in the game when it kind of got a little chippy, you guys called a timeout,
Right.
and I mean, I saw Grayson kind of walk over to the official and call a timeout, but was that ordered by you? Did he do that?
Yeah, no, I wanted a timeout, but I actually wanted to milk the clock before we called timeout. I was getting ready to call timeout. I think he saw me wanting a timeout, but my goal was to at least let maybe 30, 40 seconds run off before we actually called it. But I did want the timeout, and I wanted to remind the guys, you swing, you get mad or it gets chippy or whatever, and you get some kind of a foul where you swing on somebody, you're not playing next week. You could be out. And then I also said that that's just not the way we do things here in Georgia. So don't do that. And thankfully it didn't escalate into something stupid.
How do you feel